And welcome back here to Suburban Lanes in Bucyrus for the 58th Bucyrus Ladies Invitational Bowling Tournament. I have with me Bill Hansen. He's giving us the scores at the conclusion of each game, each round of games. One of mine brought to you in part by Roger Brown of Winks Lock, Safe and A&E Fire and Safety Services across from Wise Funeral, Kim Stamper at Lulu's Kitchen on Marion Road in Bucyrus, and Isaac King and Dillett Watt at McKeever & Associates Engineering and Surveying. So, Bill, what do we got cooking here for Game 2?
Alrighty, on lanes 1 and 2, Emily Groves on Game 2 had a 175 for a two-game total of 374, and that gives her a 546 with handicap. Lisa Penwell had a 123, gives her a two-game total of 240, and a two-game total with handicap 352. On lanes 3 and 4, Robin Pengello had a 155 for a 322 total, and a handicap score of 434. Katrina Parker had a 174 for a 244 scratch score and a 462 handicap score. On lanes 5 and 6, Gloria Huber had a nice 196 game, which gives her 342 and a 462 scratch score. And Patricia Horsley had a 182 for a 326 and 400 scratch. So Gloria's up on Patty right now, but Patty her shoulder's hurting her. So
okay. I think she's a past champion.
Yeah, she's past champion. She wasn't sure if she was going to be able to bowl. She was going to try it in practice, and I think she's continuing on. So on lane 7 and 8, Michelle Stahl. Michelle had a 164 for a 334 scratch and a 418 handicap against Shelby Gable. Shelby had a nice 226 for a 374 scratch score and a 458 handicap, which that was a nice, real nice score there.
Yeah, both of those bowlers are throwing the ball well today.
Yes, definitely. On lanes 9 and 10, Charlie Brett had a 182 for a 339 scratch score and a 451 handicap. Abby Gledhill had a 160 for a 292 scratch and a 418 handicap. Cynthia Hester had a 162, 301 scratch score and a 415 handicap. Terry Bonham had a 191 for a 362 handicap score and a 406 scratch. Heather McLaughlin had a 216 for a 434 scratch and a 488 handicap against Carolyn Kindred with a 168 and a 310 scratch and a 432 handicap. And I told Carolyn down there, I said, I'm used to calling you Carolyn Hendrickson, and Kindred is hard to get out. And then on lanes 15 and 16, Tasha Ridgway had a 176 for a 320 scratch with a 366 handicap, and Morgan Swable had a 175 for a 335 scratch and a 411 handicap score. So they're into their third games. There's a couple of them that are almost into the third game already, so they're bowling quick. This is like the men's invitational. They're bowling really quick.
And
anyhow,
it doesn't look like anybody's really totally out of it. Maybe Lisa Penwell. She's got a lot of ground to make up, but other than that, most of the scores are reasonably close.
With handicap and so forth. Carolyn's down on Heather 50 pins. But everything's, pretty close within striking distance. Anybody has a good game.
Absolutely. So, okay, well, we want to remind you that we're brought to you in part by Gary McKee at Quality Printing, Todd and I Builders since 1946, and the Kimberline family at Bucyrus Road Materials since 1939. So Bill will be back with the results of Game 3.